Hi guys.
Hi everyone,
Welcome back to our channel, Themasekosyt. I am Michelle,
and I am Anele.
and welcome to our new segment called Take Two,
Take two.
where we'll be sharing our opinion, our thoughts on something that we would have seen on social media, be it threads, be it I don't know, anything, TikTok, whatever, even things that you guys might send us, some things that maybe our loved ones might send us, talking points. So yeah, we hope you enjoy this discussion, and please do engage in the comments.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
as you can see, guys, this year we just going guns blazing. All these introductory things, introducing some new things.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep you engaged, deliver to our community that's supportive, that's growing, and just make this space a space of growth,
Yeah.
fruitful, enjoyable,
Mm-hmm.
so that you have something, an escape to come to through us, and that we also, just stay motivated and grow as well and challenge ourselves as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, to get us started, I will read this interesting, I guess, think piece I saw on Threads,
All right.
right? And it reads as follows: Venting. I've stopped doing my husband's laundry because of this. Twice in the last 2 weeks, he's had an "oh, poop, I need clothes for work tomorrow" moment. I work full time and the primary parent, cook 99% of our meals, and do 99% of the cleaning, dishes, household, laundry. Yesterday, he was telling me about someone getting a divorce because the husband didn't help out,
Mm.
and he didn't believe that was the real reason. I wanted to tell him, yes, this is a common reason for divorce, but it would have escalated into a fight, so I bit my tongue. I'm not going to leave over this, at least not at this point.
Mm.
But I will raise my son better.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah.
That's the picture.
Yeah,
We should share the picture as well.
we'll share the picture of all the things the husband left all over. I guess this is their bedroom floor, so
Ish.
that you guys can see for yourself. But yeah, what do you think, Mr. Masego, before I share my thoughts? Because there's a lot to unpack.
I think we should first make things clear. This is not me. Please.
Definitely not.
Yeah. But when I saw the picture, because she's holding the phone now, so I'm seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the picture, I thought, hey, nah, that is probably the kind of room that you would have when you have a teenager, you
Or a
know?
little child, or a preteen,
Yeah,
as well. Mm-hmm.
probably like a teenager who's not bothered about anything. Yeah, I've never been that bad, but I've had friends who are quite that bad,
Quite that bad.
And yeah, you'd hear parents say things like, I regret giving you your own room because you can't manage it. So that's what I thought, my initial thoughts. And then when he started reading that, I was like, oh, we're talking about a husband, someone's husband. So yeah, that was quite disturbing,
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, that's my initial thought. I can go deeper, but what was your initial thought before we go into the deep bits?
My initial thoughts was, yo. I I was just like, I really felt for this woman, because I don't think I would be able to deal with a place or have my home where it's supposed to be my peace, my sanctuary, like my little piece of heaven, be a place of further turmoil. Imagine you have a very hectic work day. And this woman mentioned a lot. She mentioned that she basically also does all the household chores.
Mm.
So this husband is basically another child to add on to the list, because it's clear that he does not appreciate her, and he does not value her. And yeah, those were my initial thoughts before going deeper. I felt very hurt for her, because in our home, we are a tag team. We do things jointly together. Sometimes, if I'm not feeling great, Aneli will easily take up that 100%, you know. So I can't imagine if I was in this woman's position. Already, us tag teaming, still super exhausted. I still feel super exhausted. So I can't imagine this woman not getting that support and still also like she's also like a working mom and she's doing all these things and clearly she's from like a western country where getting house help is very expensive because they have
Yeah,
proper laws
sure.
around that. Childcare is probably very expensive. Like we live in like a first world country now where those things are not easily accessible, so you have to do most of these things yourself.
Yeah, you take them for granted in South
Yeah, you take
Africa.
them
It's
for
so easy
granted.
to get them.
If you have family, if you have support, all of those things,
Yeah.
you don't have those things. So I was just thinking to myself, that's all on her shoulders. And then, yeah, it's just so much to unpack. So those are my initial thoughts. A lot of
Yeah.
thoughts, a lot of thoughts. But leading on, do you think this is a divorceable offense? Do you
Uh,
think this is something worth divorcing over?
I want to stick up for the man here.
Hmm.
Shouldn't be bashing the guy too much, because I don't know, he probably has his ways of getting to her heart and showing her the appreciation she deserves. He probably has his ways. I mean, we're obviously taking a snippet, so we're not getting the entire context.
Yeah.
Yeah, so um, based on the context that we are getting only, ignoring
Yes.
other things, that I'm sure he might. I don't think he's a horrible partner. He's just maybe just lacks some certain characteristics
No.
that he should have learned as a kid.
He lacks also a lot of self awareness because he comes to the wife with this situation, right?
Mhm.
That he himself is living. So he's
Yeah,
not aware that he's as bad as this and he doesn't understand how can someone divorce because also the wife says she doesn't bother sticking up for the point that you know what um this is something that makes sense to me because I can relate. She already goes into this, I'm not even going to bother. So there isn't like open communication between them.
yeah,
There's so much
absolutely.
that's broken when you read here. He doesn't
Yeah.
help with any of the cooking. He doesn't help her with any of the cleaning and whatever. So I don't know when you say he has ways to get to her heart. I think this woman is just settled.
Yeah.
I don't know if my assumption would be I have no sympathy for this husband whatsoever. I guess because he's a man, he's trying to be
Okay.
sympathetic. But I have a very iron fist when I look at the situation because this for me is a telltale sign that also he could exhibit other traits that are not good. Like if he is so unappreciative of her, if he doesn't consider her at all, like his clothes are all over the show, you guys. Who does he expect to pick up? And he's used to his wife doing his laundry and expecting her to sort him out.
Mm.
This is someone who I think would easily be able to go out and dishonor her, cheat on her, and expect her to just easily forgive because she just picks up the slack in other ways. I feel like this little thing, which I don't think is so little, is a sign of even bigger problems that even she highlights that she like they usually have fights and she didn't even contest him when he brought up this discussion because she just didn't want to go into a fight. And at some point as a woman, you just get fed up. It's like she's slowly getting there. Part of me would be like, she's already over it. She's just, I guess, waiting for the right time to just be like, you know what, I'm done.
Mm.
Because essentially, she is a single woman in a marriage,
Mm.
and this man is an extra load. So she will realize, especially with the way people say, like so many women share stories on social media, and she will realize that other women actually, like, it's actually better for me to be a single mom because this man doesn't help me at all. Like with all this labor, I'm better off being on my own and taking care of my kids who are my actual kids than having this man as an additional kid. Because probably expect sex and all of those things. That's how ukatele. Like she probably just rolls over and is like, okay, like, or she's just I don't know, man. But like
Mm.
that's what I'm picking up from this situation when I
All
look at it
right.
at a more analytical point of view.
Yeah.
Mm,
All right. I hear you. I hear you. And
mm. So
it's a very
I
diff.
would divorce or something like this.
Yeah, we could tell. We could. I think we could all.
Just I don't know if my standards are very high. I know God blessed me with a really great husband. So
Mm,
maybe I'm speaking from a point of privilege, but I cannot be suffering in my home. Like there's
yeah.
just absolutely like no ways.
And no one should be suffering in their home.
Like
However,
mm,
I don't feel it's a divorceable
offense.
offense. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and here's why.
Maybe she's just waiting for him to cheat. I'm just saying. Maybe she's like, you know what? Maybe she's also a Christian and was like, okay, I
Uh,
don't want to probably like, you know what? Let me just I'll
no, man.
unpack it and then
Yeah, no,
so woman you say bye because then I'll have a reasonable reason. Yeah, but anyway,
no.
sorry, go ahead.
For me, I feel like um, 100% agree with you that it's someone who clearly lacks self-awareness.
Mm,
However, you get people who have certain. No one walks into a marriage perfect, you
yep.
know.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's
that
true.
that could be his flaw. Well, that clearly is a flaw of his,
Mm.
right? But like I said, there are other parts that he plays, and he probably plays them really well.
Which
You
part,
know.
babe? Because he
Wait,
doesn't.
wait, wait,
Okay,
wait.
sorry. I'm sorry, but like this is it's not
Yeah,
just the mess.
yeah.
It's also like she's the primary parent, so he's not an involved father. He doesn't cook.
No, he's not involved in what kind of things. Like
She,
obviously, when someone is venting, this is a side of the story.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
fine.
it's very
All
difficult to
right.
make concessions when you are venting and you are giving
Mm,
your account of the story. You know, could be for him, he
mm-hmm.
thinks as a man, his parenting is I'm going out with the kid to watch him play football, for instance. You know, he in his mind is not thinking about if there's a little baby, they're changing a diaper. For
Mm,
him, culturally, that's not something that really streams into his mind. And when mentioned as well, could be something you do once and then it doesn't pop up again. Not because he's an idiot or he doesn't care. It's
mm,
just something that culturally is not associated with man, you know? So he has his ways. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Remember, we don't have the full
yeah.
context, but he has his
Okay.
ways and he does lack that self awareness.
Mm,
And for me, with this particular situation, right? The mess, firstly, I'm addressing the mess.
mm,
This is something that it's not something like, how do I put it? Like something that is terribly wrong to the extent that it's unfixable. This is something where someone needs to be reminded, firstly, then it will be a habit that, hey, look, if you're rushing somewhere, you don't just leave your boots there. I see boots or shoes. You don't just leave your shoes quickly, because obviously he didn't leave the house barefoot. So he took off these ones and took other shoes, and then he left. You know, so those kind of things, and maybe he needs to also work on his time management because he clearly was in a rush there. You know, he looks like he was someone who was in a rush. But
mm,
for me, I feel like this is something where it's a habit they developed over time. It's a habit they can undevelop as well over time. And they just need to come up with a strategy to help him. And he needs obviously to commit that, hey, look, I'm going to work on this. You know, that's the clothes, leaving the clothes bit.
mm-hmm.
The cooking and cleaning bit, come on. That you can't divorce him for that. That's something we speak. When I jumped into marriage, I couldn't cook.
Mm-hmm.
I could only cook porridge. That's it. I know some people like to say I cook eggs. I'm not one of those. I could cook porridge, and I don't know, I couldn't really do much more. I could just do the basics. Like, honestly, there's one time I made rice. That was my first time. It became pop rice, for those who know pop.
It's still yummy. I don't know, maybe because I
Yeah,
was just, yeah.
exactly. And it's effort, it's
It's the
effort.
efforts, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like,
But wait.
okay,
But it's
sorry.
uncomfortable, babe. It's uncomfortable. He's maybe done it once and messed up, came up with pop rice like me. You try to take like 3 grains of rice, have a whole skasha kasha. I don't know, in skasha in English.
I don't.
You have a whole, and it's now a huge piece on your spoon, and you can't separate the grains. They are all closely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
and
you.
that's embarrassing, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's those kind of things. It could be uncomfortable to cook, but it's those kind of things they need to discuss, and he can filter that into his thinking and do better. That can't be a divorceable situation. I'm not. No, no,
Okay,
no.
I hear you. And
Yeah.
obviously, I'm sure even in the comments, maybe a lot of guys, if they do comment, might be like, yeah, it's not a divorceable offense. I think, and you know what, fair? This is one side of the story,
Mm,
and I am judging based on the one side of the story. And
yeah.
maybe as a woman, I'm relating, I'm thinking about all those tasks and how exhausting they can be, etc. But also just adding to your point, I think this is why. Wait, would actually I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you then say, because someone would be like, this woman, like as much as I feel for her, she should have picked this up before they got married, right? Like there should have been signs or whatever, warning signs that
No
this
chance.
person.
Because I don't believe in TPT.
Exactly. So would you then advocate, would you then justify for people to stay or cohabit? For those who don't know what keep eating is, would you then advocate for people to cohabit before marriage? We didn't stay together before marriage. We
My
only
friends
stayed
know. I
once.
always
Because others
encourage
might be like, you
guys.
see, this is why you must
No, 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 no.
stay with
Do
your
that.
partner
No.
before.
Yeah.
What do you say about that? I also don't advocate for it, but I just thought
Yeah.
for those who might be like, this is why
Yeah.
you must stay with your partner before.
You
So that
must.
you see actually this is a zapa zapa zapa.
Yeah.
This is a villa. And they are gonna add to my load, and especially this woman might probably has a full-time demanding career. So she's bringing in money as well. It's
Yeah.
not like he's just the full-time provider.
Yeah.
She's also bringing
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
money. She might even be, especially in the world we live in, women earn a lot more than men these days.
Mm.
She's bringing in more money.
Mm.
She's taking care of the kids most of the time. And he thinks just taking the kids to the park or for ice cream, he's a
Yes.
dad.
Exactly.
She's
Yeah.
also doing the laundry. She's also whatever. And maybe it's not a cultural thing. Like maybe they're not like, the African culture type vibe. Maybe
Mm.
they're Westerners. This is most likely, like I got it on threads, my threads when I was last on
Maybe.
it.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
But
maybe,
yeah.
maybe not. Let's say
Yeah.
like there's just some Western couple or whatever. So it's like, why are you this way?
But patriarchy also infiltrated the West a lot
Okay.
as well.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, why would you then not advocate? How else would I know if I don't stay with this person beforehand? Because others would be like, she should have picked this up beforehand and avoided this because she's saying she wants to raise her son better,
Mm.
but she's raising her son in this situation still where the son is seeing
It's
the
not learning
father.
only from the mom.
Yeah, and
That's the
the
father. Yeah.
father is the primary role model because that's another man.
Mm.
So for her to raise her son better, she needs to encourage her husband to be better.
Absolutely.
Right?
You see that you are going on to my point then.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but before that,
Yeah.
what would you advocate? Like, how would you justify not staying with the person beforehand
Yeah.
for you to be able to pick up for other ladies and people who are looking to get married and stuff, so that they don't fall into the same trap and situation? Because it is tough. Yes, it might not be okay, divorce, and it's not like cheating and whatever, but
Yeah.
it's still very hurtful when
True.
your
100%.
home is not a place and your husband is not hearing you, and she clearly doesn't feel comfortable communicating with him because it just becomes a fight.
Yeah.
That's her side of the story.
Yeah.
So how to avoid this?
Mm.
How would I pick up that this person is not neat and is not helpful
Yeah. Firstly,
without staying with them?
just to be very controversial, I think patriarchy actually originated in the West. But anyway, and then that's something that we discuss in a university lecture.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
Mm.
I am against cohabiting
Same.
because of my religious principles,
Same.
which obviously, yeah, religious principles prohibit that because we have a belief that God knows better,
Yeah.
right? And never mind religion, just assessing situations. I've even had friends who would keep telling me, yeah, no, I want to marry, I want to commit. But then, so why then would you put one foot forward and another foot back and then testing waters? It's not fair. And then they have kids. and they'll stay together for 12 years and then leave separate ways, and then the kids are in trouble. That's a very damaging situation, you know.
But how
So
do I pick up
yeah,
without staying with
with those things, uh, how would you pick up? It's very, very difficult. Like honestly, because those are the kind. It's like the toothpaste. We had a fight with the toothpaste. You know, I used to squeeze. How would you pick up that this guy squeezes the toothpaste right in the middle, not at the back?
Some things I think okay.
Hmm.
So you're right that you wouldn't pick up necessarily these tiny things.
Yeah.
But these tiny things are manifestations of higher character traits. So if like I would say like without like I don't think you need to stay with someone to figure those things out because like when he mentioned the toothpaste example, we got over it.
How would you pick up that I had that toothpaste that
I wouldn't have picked it up unless maybe I don't know what I'll be doing at your house.
Exactly. You're not coming to my house. You're not coming to my house in the morning. My dad wouldn't permit that.
Yeah, but like that's something that you can resolve, like even like bedside manners, all of those little things.
Well.
Yes, they'll come up. They do come up. We had our own things, but him tossing those things is just showing signs that he's not necessarily a neat person. So like you'd have to look for it in other situations because I feel like that behavior can manifest in other ways.
So how so? When he's dressed up, he's got a little stain of toothpaste, yeah. And it's like, oh, no, this one is untied.
But like
or the work
not
office.
necessarily that, but I would say if he cared, if he really loved his wife and was considerate of her and stuff, it would have shown when they were dating and how he would have cared for her on dates and would be considerate in other situations.
Oh, what are you saying?
Wow. Like because with the
who's untidy on dates? Who goes to a restaurant and leaves their shoe there, then comes back?
Say, like maybe
sorry, I forgot my shoe.
At a church retreat or something, right?
Yeah.
Because like let's say you could have attended, like we have like Pathfinder camps or like church camps. Right?
Yeah.
So maybe you go in, like call him for morning manna or something. Like, oh, we're going to pray now at
just 6 to check there.
No, like we're going to meet at a specific spot. He's not there, and then you just go knock at the tent that he's sharing with his friend.
Yeah.
And then you see, like each load of dressed out. I'm just bringing a scenario.
Yeah.
You see, his tent is things are everywhere and whatnot.
Yeah.
But maybe because you're so in love, you neglect things like that.
So, yeah, well, you see it and you're like, these boys, immature boys. You don't.
It's a sign.
It is a sign, true. Granted.
But I'm just saying things like that can pop up.
It's not a huge sign.
That's true. Things that can pop up.
Okay.
And the fact that their communication also isn't clear, and also like they probably didn't have certain discussions also before when they were dating, like around parenting, because why is she the primary parent?
Yeah, true.
Like she just took on that load. He is
so whose fault
totally
is that?
Oblivious.
Whose fault is that their communication being bad?
It's both of them.
Exactly.
It is both of them. I wouldn't say it's just him.
And I think
it's both of them.
And I think fix the communication because that's incredibly important for her to communicate what she's communicating to us random people on social media.
My point is that beforehand, that's why guys, I think the hot take, I think the reason God says, well, one of the reasons God is not for sex before marriage is so that you focus on other things.
Yeah.
Right? So that you focus on other things.
The serious
You
things.
focus on the friendship, you focus on the communication, you focus on exploring and being creative with your date so that when you enter your marriage and now you get to enjoy, the activity, it's just adding, it's like icing on the cake. Because if you had gone like picnics, hiking, all of these other things, you'll pick up certain things, would see something is here. And you're not clouded by how amazing a lot of things. Oh, sorry, how amazing the sex is, just to be frank. Because I think that clouds a lot of people because you just put sex into it, you settle for low dates, you don't get to see your person in all kinds of scenarios, like in all kinds of situations, in all kinds, how do they operate? And like, let's say how they are with their parents, how the mother is, like, communicate, get to know the family, the siblings, because they'll also tell you, maybe they might not tell you initially, but eventually they'll slip with, that's because they're comfortable. That's why put sex aside.
And you can,
Because sex clouds a lot. Sex is, it clouds a lot. You put it aside, you focus on other things, putting yourselves out there, group dates, let's go bowling. How is this person when he's frustrated, when he's on the losing team, when you're not winning? What is this thing? 30 seconds. All of those things, all those scenarios are
very
very,
important.
very, very important. Because is he considerate of you in group settings? Does he care? Are you okay? Are you attended? Do you have a drink? Now in jail, are you considered? You see all those things. They pick up people's personality traits. So that's how you pick it up.
Yeah,
My points came together.
We can end the video. Wow, that was profound.
My points came together. Hallelujah.
She's not just pretty. You see, guys, she's not just pretty. She's not just a pretty face with dimples. Listen to that. Yeah, no, but that's true, 100%. Because you can keep up a pretense, and the pretense you can't be consistent. You are gonna slip up, you know.
Eventually, so, especially if you're comfortable around people that you're comfortable with. That's why it's important to meet each other's friends, family, like interact, really see this person, like do all sorts of things. Put the sex aside, we're just sitting for movies, we're just in the room, put all that aside, be creative.
Netflix
and chill all the time. That's all you know. And then you get into marriage. The excitement of sex goes away.
No. It doesn't work like that.
You just go for walks. I mean, you know what I mean? You're just doing all these things. I mean, like, we did go Cohabitation.
So, but for us, it's unfair because we met as kids. We're very young, you know.
But I'm saying now when you're older,
definitely.
Do those things and put the sex aside.
Because
if you've done the sex, put it aside.
we'd meet at church, at school. We didn't have house. I didn't have a room. I didn't have a room. I'll bring you to my room. I didn't have that, you know. So it's maybe a bit unfair because we got to experience all of that, you know.
So I feel like that's how you get to really see it. Because I got to see this man, how he is at church, how people speak of him, and all of those things. And also just take time. Don't rush into it. This whole thing, I know it sounds romantic, and other people will be like, we dated for 2 weeks, we've been married 56 years. Don't.
It's a big risk.
That's an anomaly. Don't.
It's like winning the lottery. How many of you have won the lottery?
Would you do that? Why would you just jump into a marriage? This is a forever thing. This is someone who's going to affect your happiness every day when other things are affecting you outside from life.
Absolutely.
And you just want to be like my life story is. I just knew because the butterflies are high. Wait for the butterflies to go. But I think we can. Any closing point?
All right. So my closing point is clear. This is not a divorceable matter. This is something that needs to be worked on. This communication is the first bit. Actually, fix the communication. Then once that communication is fixed, where you can't be in a relationship where you're walking on eggshells. The moment I bring up something, it's an explosion. Now the other one's going to bed first. The other one gets to bed, and then there's a big separation there. There's a Holy Spirit, and then there's backs towards back. Oh, there's a spirit. Back to back. Another one is facing that way. The other one's facing that way. You can't sleep. That's the worst feeling. Being in a bed with someone but feeling lonely. That's worse than being in a bed alone and feeling lonely.
We had our toothpaste fights. Goodness.
So that's my final take, you know. Improve communication. That is the most important thing in a relationship. Communication. Because the moment you guys fail to communicate, there's no way you can now build. You know, you just have someone. You can't be saying, "Oh, do better on my son." Your son doesn't learn from you only. You're not the only parent of the son or the only teacher of the son. And in fact, that son is more likely to repeat the father's attributes. That's just how it works. We just tend to repeat the worst of what our parents do. My dad is a great singer. I'm not. You just tend to take the worst, you know, the worst thing. So I'm just saying, it's just the worst of traits it seems as if the kids tend to replicate that, you know. So it's very important as a parent to try to reduce and eradicate, if you can, the worst traits that you have and their worst traits for the couple, both of them. Because I'm not just sticking up for the guy, I was being objective, you know. Their worst trait is their poor communication, and that's hurting everything else. Because all this, where 99% of the cleaning is one person, that one who does 1% in their mind probably think, oh, no, it's enough, you know. And that's lack of self-awareness. That's something that needs to be communicated. That actually, smell the roses is not enough. You need to do a bit more. But how do you communicate that without it turning to be a fight? You need to come up with ways where you are able to structure your points properly, control your emotion, none of this and swearing and shouting and all those things. It's things that both parties in a relationship need to improve. Yeah, and yeah, man, that's my take. So no, it's not a divorceable matter. Let's fix the relationship. These things will be fixed as well.
Okay, so my final take is maybe it's not a divorceable thing. However, I think if the extreme case applies in a situation where the husband is just not keen and he's just, not maybe not advocate for divorce. Let me be a good Christian
Oh no, no,
and not advocate, but
it's
I would
all right.
not.
No,
I would say I don't think it's horrible for her that she's considering it, especially if she feels like she's at her wit's end, because taking all of that on is really mentally draining. And I'm really thinking about also the children in this case. So I would say try and go for counseling with the husband, because probably their communication, it might not land well, because clearly there's maybe some defensive and he's just very like unapproachable, and maybe she's not able to communicate it well. They need to go for counseling immediately. Which is a third party who's going to assist them. And hopefully, the husband is keen to resolve the situation, because you cannot fight for a marriage alone. And if that does not work, I still can't say it's a divorceable offense with the not. However, let's say Vele, he's a cheater, divorce.
yeah, but yeah, I get you, Han. I get you, hey. But remember something. It's not just cheating that now it's divorceable. This thing is a build-up of a whole lot of other things that are wrong.
That I'm seeing. This is the build-up. That's what I was saying. This is a build-up. So I can see it's going there, because it's like he doesn't respect her.
Yeah.
It's like he just sees her as some sort of maid.
You see, exactly. So can you see?
And I don't think she has, like, I was also, like, I'm just saying, she probably does not have the energy for bedroom activity. So he most likely will use that as an excuse to go do something foul.
Okay, you're speculating
too
far ahead.
I'm speculating. My mind is going wild. I admit.
No.
So it's not a divorceable offense. So my final point is they shouldn't divorce.
Yeah.
They should try to resolve things for the sake of the children. It's something that can turn the corner around if the husband is willing. If he's not,
if both parties are willing, absolutely.
Yeah, if both parties are willing, please turn the corner. If not, for the health of the children as well. It's horrible being in a home where parents are not agreeing. Like, I think everyone can relate where when things are tense, it's awful, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't want the kids to grow up in that situation where she's just there, like, maybe separate for a while if the husband is not keen. Maybe not immediately divorce. Maybe separate, cool off. Maybe if that's like not divorce, but cool off period. If he's not willing to fix things, cool off period, separate, and give him some space. You get some space to recollect and make sure the kids are healthy, and maybe that separation will help him come to his senses. But yeah, I think with a lot of the marriages nowadays, they don't include God, so it actually reassure them. So
I don't even know about this separation. I'm not even team separation.
it's awful. It's just awful to be in a home where the parents are just
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So I'm thinking of the children in this case.
Yeah.
If the parents can't figure it out, It's
Yeah.
just tough. What do you guys say in the comments below? Because we could go on and on and on, but let's cut it here.
Yeah.
What's your take in the comments below?
We'd love to know.
We would love to know. Maybe we'll do a part 2 in future on this topic, or it'll come back in a different way, or you guys might bring it in a different angle, and we'll go deeper.
Yeah.
Deeper.
Maybe we should talk about what are divorceable matters then.
We can.
You see, yeah, maybe, but but please, guys.
It's just important to, like, especially when kids are involved. I don't know. It's just very personal to me. When kids are involved, they deserve a healthy home, and it should be your primary.
100%,
to make sure, like, laying at this person to fix things, and if they really don't want to, if it's healthier to separate. Because I mean, why marry someone who you don't want to fight for?
You can't. It's very tough to fight when someone else is not willing to fight. Yeah.
Like, it's just incredibly difficult, and then the poor kids.
Let's end the video.
Please like,
yes,
comment, share, subscribe.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you in our next
And give us ideas, please, guys. Give us ideas. We don't want this to be our channel where we're just doing everything.
Yeah, I mean, we have some
interact with us
already, but if you have stuff,
let's talk.
YouTube, I mean, our email is there. You can share it, you can pop it up there.
Yeah.
And we will discuss it.
Yeah, and you can share your situation anonymously, you understand?
And just say anonymously, we'll share our take.
Ask for a friend. Ask for a friend, yeah. It happened to a friend of a friend of a friend of mine.
Situations very. But anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.
Bye. Bye.